Hi! In this video, I'm going to teach you how to make napkins. They're a great beginner project because they're easy to make, they're really useful, and they make great gifts. Stay tuned till the end where I teach you how to fix your mistakes using a seam ripper. Hi guys, I'm Alexa, author of Sewing for Kids, and this is my channel, Alexa, Teach Me How to Sew. The goal of this channel is to teach people how to sew while making cute and trendy projects. If you're interested in that, please like and subscribe. First, let's start by gathering your materials. You're going to need a ½ yard of non-stretch cotton. Upcycled fabrics would work great for this, like old sheets or clothes or scraps from other projects. Your sewing machine, end thread, straight pins and a pin cushion, scissors, both paper and fabric, an iron and ironing board. For any children watching, you're going to need a parent to iron for you. Paper to make a pattern. It should be larger than 18 by 18 inches. If you have pattern paper, that's great, but if not, you can use newspaper or wrapping paper or tissue paper, or just tape a few pieces together. A pencil and a ruler, and a seam ripper. Create your pattern. Working from a pattern will make your napkins consistent and easier to make more at a later date. Make your square 2 inches bigger than the size you want your napkin to be. For example, I wanted a 16 by 16 inch napkin, so I made my square 18 by 18 inches. Next, we're going to cut our fabric. Fold your fabric in half so that you can cut 2 at a time. Pin your pattern on. If you have a large piece of fabric, make sure you put your pattern in a corner, not the center, so this way you don't end up with a hole in the middle of your fabric. Now you can cut your fabric. Turn your fabric as you go to make cutting easier. Once you're done cutting, you can unpin your paper and put the paper aside. Take one napkin over to your ironing board. We're going to iron a hem on 2 opposite sides of the square. Children, ask your parent to iron for you, and adults, be careful. With the wrong side of your fabric facing up towards you, you're going to start by folding over a ½ inch on one side of the square and ironing. Fold that same side over another ½ inch and iron again. Typically, there's 2 sides of your fabric, a right side and a wrong side. The wrong side is the side that doesn't look as nice, and that's the side that you want facing up towards you. Now we're going to turn our fabric to the opposite side of the square. The wrong side of the fabric is still facing up, and we're going to fold another line ½ inch and iron. Now we're going to do the second fold and iron again. This is the same fold we do when we hem a pair of pants. Once we're done ironing, we can pin for sewing, meaning our pins are going to be sticking out of the fabric like this. Don't forget to pin both sides. And when you pin, your pin should be going through all 3 layers. Now we're going to sew. We're going to line our needle up about 1/8 of an inch from the edge of the inside fold. Before you start sewing, make sure you check your settings. Are you on a straight stitch, and is it the stitch length you want? Start with a back stitch and then sew a straight line. And taking your pins out as you go. Whoops, I made a mistake. If you make any mistakes, watch till the end where I show you how to fix them. I'm back on course now, and I'm just going to finish sewing this line. Don't forget to backstitch at the end. Now sew the other side. Cut any loose threads and repeat steps 4 and 5 on the other 2 sides of your napkin. Pinning. We're now going to sew the other 2 sides. There you have it, your first napkin. Now you can practice your skills by making a complete set. If you made a mistake, have no fear. We have the mighty seam ripper. To use it, take the pointy end and slide it under your stitches. And use the blade, which is the curved part, to break them and remove them. But be careful to not catch the fabric as you're doing this. You're going to want to remove a little bit past where the mistake is in both directions. Cut the thread on the other side. When you start stitching again, use your balance wheel to move your needle and line up with the stitching that was already there. Start about a 1/2 inch behind the hole that you now have and backstitch. Continue to sew until you line up with the rest of the stitches. Sew past them about a 1/2 inch and backstitch again. Lift up your needle and cut your threads. And there we have it. Our stitches are fixed. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, show your love by liking it. And if you want to see more like it, then subscribe. If you don't know how to hand sew yet, check out my other video on the needle house. For example, I wanted an 18 by... For example, I wanted an 18... What? Blah, 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 blah. That was a bad one.